This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys. So yesterday we installed a database, right? And we joined the machine to the domain. Now today, point number one is install SQL Management Studio. Okay, install SQL Management Studio. So we need to install SQL Management Studio on uh, database. What is SQL Management Studio? That is a tool which helps you to access database, configure database, add, remove tables in database, give permission to database. Okay, tinyurl.com/sqlstt. This is the website link for SQL Management Studio. Copy this link and go to database box. Go to database box. Right. Now open Internet Explorer here. Yeah, what is the link?
TinyURL.
Yeah, paste the link here. Paste. Hit enter. tinyurl.com/sqlstt. Click on the download button. Download anyway. Run. So this tool will help you to configure database, give permission to database, add, remove tables in database. Basically, this tool is need. Who uses this tool? The database administrators. Those who are working in database, a database team. They use this tool basically. Inst Restart in order to complete the setup. Okay. Did we already give me control? Did we already install this? No. Okay.
No.
So it is asking you to restart. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, why it is asking you to never check for update? Okay, fine, no worries. It is asking you to restart. So update and restart. So I'm gonna click on update and restart. Okay. Update and restart SCCM as well. Okay. Update and restart on domain as well. Okay. Let me do that because if we don't do it, it will later on create problem. Okay. Are you also getting this update and restart, Kishore?
Yes, Kisip, I was it was showing yesterday. Today it is not. Today it is not showing.
Okay.
So I am downloading this Management Studio.
Yeah, you download and install it on database. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the
So
first thing what we have to do. Yeah.
uh, the console has arrived. Oh, I mean, no, I have opened.
Hmm?
Should I share or will wait?
Wait. Okay, so the next point is we need to create system management container in Active Directory. Basically, in Active Directory, we are going to publish SCCM related information. Okay, so whenever somebody wants to know about SCCM, right? Any domain joined computers would like to know about SCCM, they can access this container in Active Directory, and they will get the SCCM site server name, the site code, boundary, a management point, all those information the computer can access from here. Now, system management container, we need to create like a folder. We have to create a folder in Active Directory, and the name of the folder is system management. Now, that system management container, who will have permission to write data? Somebody will have to have permission so that it will, the guy will write the data. It will be SCCM PS server. This server will be dumping information in this container. SCCM PS server will be having full control. So we have to do these tasks. Okay, then let's go back to domain server. Probably it will get connected now. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the first point, that is install SQL Management Studio on Database Box. So you already downloaded. Let's verify whether it is downloaded or not in the download folder. It's not downloaded. Maybe it got downloaded somewhere else. So we will download again the SQL Management Studio, tinyurl.com/SQL std. So we will download in database box. We are on database box, guys, and we are gonna download it here. SQL std. Okay,
Okay.
and click on this download button and download anyway and save this time. So now it is getting downloaded in the download folder. So we got it downloaded here. So I'm gonna double click on this SMS setup in the download folder. Okay, and you got this one which is asking you to install. I'm gonna click on install. That's it. It will get installed. Clear, everyone?
Yeah, Kash.
Yes.
Now the next thing is we have to create system management container in Active Directory, and the second thing is we have to give full permission to the container. SCCM server will have full permission on that container. So let's do it. Everyone, let's go to domain server. Go to server manager in domain server. Server manager in domain server. Deepika.
Server manager. Where
Server
should I?
manager is right here. Server manager. This is server manager.
Okay.
Okay. You see, welcome to server manager.
Yes.
Okay. Now what you have to do, you need to launch ADSI edit. So click on tools and choose ADSI edit. ADSI edit. Now this is the tool which will help you to create container in Active Directory. Okay, container is what? Container is what? It is like a folder or a box. We are creating a container. So right click on ADSI edit, choose connect to, and click OK. Okay, so this got connected. Now we have to expand that one, default naming context, expand that, expand Nike, expand. This is Active Directory structure, guys, and here we have container and organizational units, groups. There are multiple things here. Now let's go to CN is equal to system container. CN equal to system, yeah, click on that. Now you see we have many containers inside this container. CN equal to system is what? It's a container. Now right click on that CN equal to system and choose new and choose object and choose container, right? And click on next and type in the name as system management, S capital SYSTEM space M capital management. Next, finish. All good, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
We created a container like a folder. Now, why we created a folder? Because this folder will have SCCM related information. So if any domain joined computer wants to know about SCCM, they can access this container and get those information. Okay. Now let's close this. Now we have to open Active Directory user and computers now. Let's click on tools and choose Active Directory user and computers. Yes. Click on view on the top, view, and choose advanced feature. Okay, so expand Nike.com, you will see that container, system container, you see, and expand system, you will see system management container. You got it? System management. Now who will have permission on this container? Right click on this folder and give permission, give delegate control. First one, delegate control. Yeah. Next, add object types. Click on object types and choose computer. We have to give permission to computer. Okay. Click on OK. Type in SCCM PS here. SCCM PS. So primary side will have permission on this container. Check names. Click OK. Next. Okay. When you go next, you need to choose this create a custom task to delegate. Okay. Create a custom task to delegate. Next. So you have to keep the default one and then next. And choose this full control. Okay. Full control. So on this container, SCCMPS will have full control. Next and finish. So that is done. So we completed all these points. Point number 3 is also done. Point number 4 is extend Active Directory schema table. Now, Active Directory is what? Can anyone tell me what is Active Directory? Hmm?
To store
It's a
information about users and
stores.
computers,
Yeah. So
groups.
in short, if I say Active Directory is what? It is a database, right?
Yeah.
It has information for something. Now it has information for user, it has information about groups, it has information about domains, it has information about user password, okay, computer information, domain information. All those informations are present in this database. Now it also needs to store SCCM related information like SCCM site server name, SCCM site code, SCCM. There are many things which it has to do, the SCCM related information. So currently we don't have any any table in SCC in Active Directory. We have tables and attribute tables which contains classes and attributes. So user is a class, computer is a class, system is a class. Similarly, we have to add some tables related to SCCM so that as Active Directory will start storing the information of SCCM. SCCM information can be stored in Active Directory database table. So we have to add some more tables. Currently, we don't have SCCM related tables in Active Directory. So how do we do that? So download and install on domain. That is tinyurl.com/extadsch. This is the website link, guys, which you have to use. So copy, right click and copy, and let's go to domain and download this and run. Everyone, let's go to domain, Internet Explorer. Click OK. Hit enter. Yeah. Download anyway and run. So it will add some tables in some classes and attributes in Active Directory. If you would like to see what happened, you go to C drive of this machine and there is a file called extadsch. Okay, that's a log file. As you see, extadsch.log. If you open that one, you will see that these are the attributes, right? These are the attributes, and then we have classes. These are the classes, right? What does it say? Successfully extended the Active Directory schema. So it has now added all these classes and attributes in Active Directory. All good, guys? Everyone?
Discuss.
Point number 5. Now your SQL Server, what you install, where you install SQL Server, it is installed in Database Box. Now Database Box has some memory in, some RAM is there in that computer. But okay, so first we have to restart this. I'm gonna click on restart. So we have to reserve some memory, minimum 8 GB RAM and maximum 10 GB RAM for SQL Server. So those memory maximum up to 10 GB memory, the SQL Server will utilize from that server. Let's say that machine has 64 GB of RAM. let's assume that in production we do that. In database box we have given 64 gigabyte of RAM to that machine. So out of 64 gigabyte, 10 GB will be utilized by SQL Server, and rest, whatever the remaining memory, that will be used by other things in the server. Clear?
Okay.
Understood? So we have to reserve memory for SQL Server. Dedicatedly, SQL Server will utilize that memory. Okay, so we have to on database, let's click on start. Let's click on start. Yeah, on database. Yeah, and click on the second one, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. You see the second one. Okay. Okay, while it is loading, we can do other tasks. Point number 6 is SCCM PS needs admin rights on database server. SCCM server needs admin rights. Okay, you have to give admin rights to SCCM server on database box. So let's go to database box, everyone. Let's go to database box. Okay, let's connect it. Let's click on connect. Okay, and we can define the memory from here. Right click on the highlighted one, database SQL server. Right click on that and choose properties and choose memory, the second one from top. Yeah, memory. You see minimum memory, how much minimum memory it can utilize. Microsoft recommends that SQL Server should have minimum 8 gigabyte. So 8 gigabyte is what in megabyte? 8192. 81992.
8192.
8192. So that is 8 gigabyte. Okay. And what will be the maximum memory? 10 gigabyte, 10240. That is 10 gigabyte. Clear, everyone? So memory is given. So that SQL Server will perform a little better. It will use dedicated memory. Okay. Now SQL Server is done. Now we have to give SCCM server admin rights on this machine. So right click on start. Computer management. Expand local user and groups on the database box itself. Groups. Can you go to groups? And then double click on administrators. Now here we need to add. Click on add. Object types. Computers. Click OK. Now we have to type in SCCM PS here. Type in SCCM PS. So SCCM PS server will have read and write permission on database box. It will have admin rights. Check names, click OK, apply OK. Done. So memory part is done, admin rights is done. Now the last one more prerequisite, that is firewall, because we have not given the firewall configuration properly. So configure firewall ports for SCCM connection to client machine, SCCM connection to database, SCCM to WSUS. So we need to create firewall configuration. We need to open some ports in firewall. Okay. So what all ports are needed? There are two types of ports: incoming and outgoing. Incoming or inbound. Inbound ports. Okay. What are inbound ports? Port 80, comma, space 443, comma, space 1433, comma, space 4022, comma, space 3389, comma, space 8530, comma, space 8531. Okay, clear? These are the port numbers, guys. Point number 2, file and printer sharing port. Then third one is Windows management instrumentation. WMI ports. Okay, these are the incoming ports which we have to open in computers so that the connection from outside can come inside. Connection can be established from SCCM server to the client machine, from SCCM server to database, from SCCM server to WSUS. Got it? Outbound ports. What all outbound ports are needed? It is only one, that is file and printer sharing. So through this port, the computer will be able to send files, inventory files to SCCM server. Clear, everyone? Deepika,
Yeah,
Vijay.
Kash.
Okay, so now
Yes, Kaushik.
these ports, you cannot, if you, let's say there are 1000 machines and you have to open these ports in 1000 machine, how will you go about it?
Go through group policy.
Right. So you'll use group policy so that all the computers can take the policy and these ports will get enabled. If you don't use group policy, then you will have to do manually. Manually will take like months to perform this task. So let's go to laptop, domain server. Domain server. Here you need to launch group policy. Click on tools. Group policy management on the domain server. Group policy management. Okay. Yeah. Now expand this forest. Expand domains. Expand Nike. Okay. Now it is up to you. Where would you like to apply the policy? Either you apply the policy on all the machines, or you can apply the policy on certain machines, certain container in Active Directory. So we will apply the policy for all the machines. So let's right click on the domain nike.com and choose create a GPO and link it here, the first one. Now type in SCCM policy in the name. Type in SCCM policy and go OK. So when we apply the policy from here, it will be applied for all the domain join machines. Okay. Click on do not show this message again. Okay. Now, so we are going to create policy. Right click on SCCM policy which you created and click on edit. The policy we created, but it's a blank policy. We have to define the settings. Edit. There are two types of policy, computer policy and user policy. Let's expand computer policies and expand administrative template and expand Windows component and look for remote. Just type in remote. Yeah, there you go. You have remote. I can see little up. Yes, remote desktop session. Expand that one so that we can see it properly. Very good. Now expand this remote desktop session host, and then you need to go to connection. Now at the right hand side you have allow user, the second one, allow user to connect remotely. So by using this one, we are basically enabling the remote connection for all the machines. Double click again, choose enable and apply. Okay. So remote connection will be enabled for all the machines. We will be able to remote into all the machines. Plus you choose the second one, security, here in the folder, security folder.
Where
Security.
Kash? Security center.
No, security
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Okay, and then you have to choose this require user authentication. That means remote connection will be asking for user authentication. Choose enable and choose apply and okay. So that is done, and close it. Clear?
Okay.
This policy was to enable remote connection in all the machine. Now what about the inbound and outbound ports? These are pending. So let's go back to SCCM policy again and right click and edit. Okay. Now in this one we have policies, the computer policy, and then Windows settings, and then we have security settings, right? And then we have under security setting Windows firewall, Windows Defender firewall. Okay. And then we will expand this Windows Defender firewall and inbound rule and outbound rule. So whatever the things which you define here in inbound, it is gonna open all the ports, inbound ports in the computers. If you define anything in outbound, then it will open those ports in all the machines. So I'm gonna define the inbound first, right click and new rule. And we need to choose port, okay, and next. Here we will have to define the what all ports you would like to open, inbound ports you would like to open in computers. 80, comma, so I have to type in properly 80 and then comma and then space 443 comma and then space 1433 comma space 4022 comma space 3389 comma space 8530 comma space 8531. Okay, these are the inbound ports which we have to open in computers. So we'll go next, and all the network, whether the computer is joined on domain private or public, it is gonna firewall exception. Next, and we can type in SCCM ports, finish. So all the machine will receive this policy and those ports will get enabled in all the machines, inbound ports, the 80443, 1433 and all. Now the second one is file and printer sharing. So in the inbound itself, I need to right click a new rule and predefined and choose file and printer sharing. Okay, so that the computer will be able to download files from distribution point. Next, finish. So file and printer sharing is done. Then we have to create one more rule, right click and new rule. And here we will choose predefined and Windows Management Instrumentation port. Okay, this one. Next, finish. So all these things are inbound. Okay, now outbound. Let's go to outbound. We will go to outbound rule. This one. Now we need to right click and then choose new rule and predefined, and we need to choose a file and printer sharing. This one, file and printer sharing port. Okay, next, and we have to choose this allow the connection. Okay, so using these ports, the client SCCM client machines will be able to send files to SCCM server, the inventory files, because we have outbound port. Everyone clear so far?
Discussion.
So that policy will get applied in all the machines in 1 hour. If you don't want to wait for 1 hour, you can go to you can do GP update, GP update / force. Understood? GP update / force. In either you wait for 1 hour for the policy to get applied, or you can run the policy in all the machines like this. GP update force. GP update / force. So it is updating the policy. Okay, and if you would like to see whether policy is applied or not, you can verify if you go to type in firewall.cpl in any machine. If you go to firewall.cpl, see it is showing for your security some settings are managed by your administrator. Plus, if you go to click on advanced settings and inbound rule, you see inbound rule is SCCM port is now showing up. All good?
Yes.
So the benefit of group policy is you can apply the policy in all the computers in one go. You don't have to manually do it in computers. So that is done, right? Point number 8. Download SCCM prerequisites on SCCM server. Now we have to download some SCCM related prerequisites on SCCM server. And first you have to download this one, tinyurl.com/MECM2002. Okay, first we have to download SCCM setup files. Okay, SCCM setup files on SCCM server, and this is the link, tinyurl.com/MECM2002. This version of SCCM was released last year in the month of February. Okay, last year. This is 1 year old software from Microsoft. Latest one is 2103, right? We will install this one 2002 and then we will upgrade to 2103.
Okay.
Let's copy this and go to SCCM server and download. Yeah, paste the link. Yeah, paste the link. Click on download. Click on download anyway and save. So we are downloading what? The SCCM setup file, which was released last year in the month of February. Now no, don't run this. Click on close. Close it. And go to the download folder. You now have downloaded this one, MECM 2002. This is downloaded, right? Now what you have to do, you need to extract all the files from here, right? First, you have to create one folder. MECM. Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. That's the new name of SCCM. Now let's right click on the downloaded one and choose run as administrator. Browse. Okay, you have extracted in C drive. That's okay, but it's not
Can I
recommended.
close? Sir,
No,
can
no,
I
no,
come?
wait, no, leave it as it is. So basically what you are doing, you are extracting all the files in C drive, which is not a good idea. But what we will do, we will cut the file and put it somewhere else from C drive. You see, you are putting it here in the second folder, MECM config manager, the second one, this one.
Okay.
So this is the folder which we have got it extracted. I'm gonna cut this folder from C drive and paste it on the desktop. Okay, so this has all the files. Clear, everyone?
Yes, Krish.
So we will now start installation of SCCM server. That will be our primary site server. But before we do that, let's take snapshot. So point number 9, take snapshot of SCCM PS and database server. Why we need to take snapshot? Because we have done a lot of things, right? Since last 3 days, we are doing some prerequisites installation. So we are going to take the backup of all these prerequisite. In case something goes wrong, we don't have to install all the prerequisite again. We can come back to that snapshot. Okay, so that is the reason we are taking snapshot of SCCM and database server. Let's go to Azure portal. On the top, look for disk. Search for disk on the top. On the top, you have search box, right? Disk. Yeah, click on disk. Okay, so these are the hard disk for all 4 machines. Now take a snapshot for database. So the first one, click on the first one. You need to click on the name. Wait, I'll show you where you have to click. Wait. You have to click on this one, okay? Database. When you click on that, then you have create snapshot, okay? Now what kind of a snapshot you would like to create? I'm gonna give the name as database disk. This is database disk and full snapshot. I need full backup complete, and then database will be the storage is a standard hard disk. This is cheaper than the premium one. Premium is costly, so I'm gonna choose standard. Review plus create and create. Okay, clear? Again, one more time, go back to disk. Now click on the SCCM PS disk now. Create snapshot. Type in SCCM underscore disk. Standard HDD. Review plus create. Start. Create. Now let's go back to Azure portal. I mean SCCM server. Now double click on this MECM config, the folder. Yeah. Now we will start installing our primary site server. Splash. Double click on Splash. Double click on Splash again. One more time. Double click. So now it got open. Now click on install. So we are going to install our primary site server now. Next, standalone primary site. Okay. We don't have, if you have to install central administration site, then you choose this option, central administration site. Right? We are going to install our primary site, not central. So primary is the first one, which is already selected. Install a config manager, primary site. Next. Accept the license, the first one, evaluation, 180 days. Next. Accept the license terms and condition. Next. Now we need to download some prerequisite files. So let's create one folder on the desktop. Yeah, prerequisite. Now, yeah, use this folder to download. Browse, desktop, expand desktop. Prereq. Next. Okay, guys, while it is doing, I'll show you the architecture of our SCCM server, how we are going to design our SCCM architecture. Let me know when you see my screen, guys.
Oh, I can see it, Kash.
Okay, so how do we create our SCCM server? So far what we have done, I'll give you the complete information. So what we have done, we have chosen California data center. California data center. Okay. In California data center, this is located in West US. We have chosen West US Azure data center. In California data center, what we did, we have created a container. And what is the name of the container? It is RG, the resource group, RG underscore West US. That is a container we created. Then what we have done, we created a virtual network. So we created VNet underscore West US, a network, a private network. Okay, we created a private network. Nobody will have access to that network apart, except you, Deepika. VNet underscore West US. Now on that one, we installed 4 different machines, right? We installed domain, then we installed database, and then we installed SCCM PS primary side, and we installed Win10. All of them are connected to the same VNet network. On domain, we installed DC, domain controller, plus DNS. Okay, so we installed what? DC, domain controller, plus domain name system server. Here in SQL, we installed database, we installed SQL server. Now in primary side, we have just done all the prerequisite, but today what we are going to do, we will install management point on this box. We will install the distribution point on this box. We will install SMS provider on this box, okay? And then we will install service connection point. All these components we have to install on SCCM primary side. Management point is mandatory role. Distribution point is mandatory role. Service connection point is mandatory role. This one is optional. Service connection point. SMS provider is mandatory. Service connection point is optional, but we have to install at least somewhere so that we can upgrade SCCM from old version to the latest version. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
And
Kash.
the connection will be HTTP on port 80. Okay, between the client and the server. The client to server and server to client. It will be HTTP port 80. Got it? So that is going to be our architecture. I'll make you presenter, Deepika, again. I made you presenter.
Okay.
Oh, it did not download. What happened? So I'm trying again. Let's see what happens. So this time it's downloading in this folder, folder number 1. Last time it was downloading here in prerequisite. Let me delete that. Okay. Okay, it's failing to download, guys. So what I will
It
do,
got
I
downloaded
will,
for me.
hmm,
It got downloaded for me.
it got downloaded for you.
Yes. Uh, Kashyap Kishore here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have set up also in local system and then VMware. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm getting changed from IP address from automatic to static, internet is not coming. So that is the problem in VMware. So how to set up on that?
Internet is not there.
This internet
Hmm?
is not coming to VM.
Okay.
Yeah, one more issue.
Mm,
When we installing local administrator taking default, we need to create any account, local
not
user
local
account.
account. No, no, not local account. You log in with lab/administrator and then password. You know, whatever the
O-
domain name you choose,
Okay, okay.
domain/administrator.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
No.
In local, static is not required, I think.
Local for
Yeah,
internet
in local.
connection. For internet connection.
No. For all access.
Mm-hmm. Static IP is needed. I'll guide you. Okay, what you have to do. Okay, so now it got downloaded, right? The file got downloaded. Let me delete the folder one. It's not needed. So what I did, I downloaded the file here in this folder. Now what I'll do, I'll go to install, right? And then next, and accept the license terms and condition, next. Now either you download now or you use the downloaded file. I will use the downloaded file. So I'm gonna click on this one. Okay, use previously downloaded and browse the folder from the desktop. I have already downloaded it. If you have not downloaded, then you choose the first option. Okay, and click next. So it should take all the files from the folder. Okay, so English language, server language will be English. Let's go next. Deepika, everyone, let's go next. Client language will also be English. Let's go next. Now here you have to give site code. What will be the site code of this primary site? So give anything 3 character, PS1 or anything of your choice. Primary site 1, PS1. Now second site name, you can type in California primary site. Primary site, yeah. Now it is going to be installed in the C drive. Okay. And yeah, next. So here you have option to choose central administration site, but we don't have central, so we can't use the first option. We have to use the installer primary site standalone. Okay.
Okay.
Next. Yes. Do you want to continue? Yes. Click on yes. Now here you have to give your SQL Server name. In the first box, you have to give your SQL Server name. What is your SQL Server name? Database.nike.com. Okay, database.nike.com. Now click on next. It is gonna create the database. These are the locations where data, SQL Server data file, log file will be stored. Next. Now SMS provider will get installed on the same server. So we'll leave that as it is. Next. the communication, as I mentioned, port 80 HTTP. Okay, not the first one. If you use the first one, then it will be HTTPS. So port 80. Now go next. Management point and distribution point will install on the same server. Next. Next. Service connection point will install on the same server. Next. And here we have summary, what we have chosen. Next. That's gonna search for all the things what we have done so far. If we have missed any prerequisite, it is gonna let us know. It's gonna check all the prerequisite, whether we have completed all the prerequisites or not. We have one warning message. Basically, this is it is asking to change the transport layer security, the connection from 1.0 to 1.2. Okay, it is asking you to change the that is recommended method, but that's okay. We can leave that warning as it is. It's not mandatory to fix it. Okay, so all the prerequisites are done and it is giving us a begin install option. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on begin install. When you do that, what will happen, it will take like 3-4 hours for the installation to finish. Right now the time is 7:45 a.m. in the morning. So 7:45, let's verify the installation after 4 hours from now, somewhere around 12 o'clock. Okay,
Okay.
and then you will have everything is done and you will have close button. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so you then close the installation, I mean, and stop all the machines. So point number 10 was what? Begin installation of SCCM primary site server. Point number 11, wait for the installation and stop all the machines. Okay, clear?
Okay. Sure.
So, and you send this to everyone on WhatsApp,
Sure.
Deepika.
Okay. Sure.
Everyone, please be on the same page. Ravi, Kishore, Mahesh,
Yeah, sure.
you have to be on the same page,
Yeah,
guys.
when installing simultaneously,